Hey, how you doing? Another day here. It's been a while since I've seen you. Our powder coat shop that I'm going to use to do my powder coating is going to be shut down for a month in the next week, so I've just been working on getting it all fitted. I didn't really document any of it. I'm sorry. However, I'm going to walk you through what I did. So, here it is. Mostly mocked up. So here's my twin plug distributor. Here's my twin CDI coils. I have to run a CDI box as well, so I have that, but that's gonna get mounted to the firewall, which will be right here on the car. So here we go. I'm using 911 spark plug wire holders with a riv nut, which will go there once these are powder coated. So I enlarge those holes on both sides. This all gets pushed behind, and none of these wires are just kind of put here for temporary use. There's not going to anything. Spark plugs for the twin plug. I made a little hole here. They'll come down, be zip tied to the bale, so they'll stay away from the heat. And then right here, you can see those two little holes I made. Those two holes are where the wires will actually go. I can show you on the other side. As well as I removed the little chimney stack that's right here and hangs over, because I'm not running carb heaters or any of that stuff. It would basically come to here and preheat the carbs. I'm not doing that. I don't need it. It's hot where I live. Never gets that cold. So here we go. Here's one spark plug wire with the raw end I'm using. It's old motorcycle stuff. And it basically slips on in. Right there, you can see that. And if you come down here, now all I gotta do is reach in and connect it. And done. To remove it, and done. And then to remove it, just get your hand down in there, pull down, disconnect it. Come here. There you go. Now, because I don't have the chimneys anymore, I have to change plugs. I didn't want to put massive holes in the heater boxes, as most people do. So, I have one bolt there, one there, and my whole heater box will drop down, and I'm able to change plugs and get full access to everything up there. I'm okay doing that. I'm not changing plugs often, right? Every, 20,000, 15,000, 10,000 miles? I'm okay with doing it on a massive service whenever I service the motor. So it's stuff like this that's been taking me quite a lot of, not a lot of time, but to make the details right. To make all the sheet metal fit nice and stuff like that. So we're going through all this. I'm going to go ahead and weld up, get rid of the holes. But progress is being made, and I'm happy about it. That's gotta go. I don't think I need this. I don't think I need this tab up, the wire holder on this side, because all the wires will get on a P-clamp right here coming from the firewall. Gotta go there. That's gotta get unbent and fixed. Another thing. Boom. My precision matters. Full flow system. My oil pump covers in. So because I'm running the twin plug, there's no room for an oil can right here. It hits the distributor. As well, the original cans only filtered like 13 or 30% of the oil. Don't quote me on numbers, but it's really low. This will filter almost all of the oil because it has to go through here. As well as I'm running these DYME oil fittings, so they're just quick release fittings. So now I can disconnect it and reconnect it. They say that it will hold up to 10,000 PSI, or it won't even be at above 100 PSI, or 100 pounds, so we'll be more than fine. So the two lines will run up through here. I'm gonna put a heat shield for this little section because that's where the exhaust comes out of. This will go to a filter in my fender well. So I'm going to be running a new age style filter. Everything's going to be quick release and disconnectable, so like easy. So when I drain my oil out of there, I can also disconnect those lines and let all the oil drain out of everything completely. But she's coming together. Just wanted to update you guys. I'm just gonna keep working and just update you as I go. Blocked off those holes as well. I'm not running a muffler that has the attachments for that. If I need it in the future, I will add it. However, as of now, this thing's sturdy. I'm making the spark plug wires, and I figured I'd show you. Just so we're all on the same page here. There's blue and there's purple. It might be hard to tell on camera, but the blues are all my upper plug wires, so those would go up top. And then all the purples are going to drop down below and are for the lower plugs. I have the labels on them, but this is just quick and easy while I'm getting all these set up. So this is my first time doing this, so I've learned on the first 3. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So first things first is I'm going to take the whole thing of my spark plug wire. Here is the end that goes in the coil, and there's an open end and the part that goes in the coil. Take the open end, and I'm going to go here and push it and go a little extra. So it's not supposed to go all the way in, but I'll have it all the way in. I'm going to take a sharp razor blade and I'm going to mark where it's going. Boom, pull that off, and just go ahead and go in a circle around it, and you'll get a nice clean edge. Go ahead and spin it. Boom, now I have wire. Bend it back so it's like flush against the housing. You're gonna take your end, open end, and you don't want it like this. You wanna rotate so that the wire is on the closed side. They have special pliers for this. I don't have any, I didn't buy any. However, I have these little snap-on pliers and they're great. So I'm just gonna go ahead, bend the tabs back, work my way back and forth between the two. And then I have these as well. These are my wire crimpers. It fits right in there, and that just makes it circle again. Boom. Go ahead and pull on it. Make sure it's not budging at all. Now we have a lead. This lead will go right here. Pushes in, and it's in. Now, let's bring you guys a little closer. I'm gonna go ahead and run it like I want it in the car. We'll do right there. Leave some extra. You can always cut them shorter, but you can't ever add more back on. Boom. So you mark it to, I have my spark plug end in there, where it will be living. And go ahead and mark it with your finger. Okay, that's good enough. Grab a nice sharp pair of cutters, snip, pull your end out, and in these ends, some of them are different, but most of them are the same. There's a threaded insert, a pointy threaded insert. Just go ahead and push it in and twist it, and then give it a pull. Now it's nice and tight. Go ahead, hook it back in. Done. Now there's my wires for my uppers at least. And I left them all along. I'm gonna wait till I get it in the car if I need to do any trimming. We'll see. I'm gonna label each wire as well with a heat shrink. I will show you guys that later. But there they are. Nice little holders. Boom. And I might change out the rears for some longer ones. Sometimes these look better, they really do, but sometimes it's a pain to grab them behind in the car. So I have these longer ones that would stick out further, so they're easier to grab. I might change the rears only out to those. We'll see. But I'm gonna continue with the bottoms. I'm gonna be doing my lower wire now. I did all three. This is the last one. Just gonna show you guys again. So on the upper wires, I did pure black. And on the lower wires, I did black with a white trace. See the difference? The black with white trace also matches the oil lines, so that everything on the bottom of the motor will be black with a white tracer. So, just one more time. Put the coil side end in, grab a razor, mark it, go around it once or twice, or push really hard, and you'll feel it when it goes through. You won't hurt the inside wires. Give it a nice little spin, comes off, bend it 90, check that it's far enough in, it is, now 180 it, grab your, they sell a special tool, I don't know if I would need it in the future, and just work your way around, pinching those ends in. This tool will round it back out and give me a really nice tight pinch. Pull on it, it's good, not going anywhere. And this one is going to be over here. Boom. We're gonna go ahead. The bottoms are a little different. I'm using this thing called a Raha connector. Let me show you what that is. It's this. It's an old school motorcycle style. They have different versions of these, some with Bakelite, some are all metal, some have 90s, you know, like regular connectors. It's a threaded piece with a point, and then this end has a transition area and then threads on one side. So the wire will go, where is the wire? The wire will go through the transition side, poke out of the threaded side just a little bit, and that pinch will basically cinch it in and it will lock it. And now that's your spark plug end. That goes on a spark plug like so. That's all you have. Those are the wrong plugs for it. But that's it. Let me grab an actual good plug and show you how this works. Or actually here. Throw on one of those ends. Okay. Spark plug. connector, pinch, doesn't fall off, you gotta pull on it. So, there you go. So let's go ahead and install this now on this. Go ahead, snip. Now, where'd the end go? On the other, on the top plugs, you just kind of spin the part on. On these, you have to trim, as you do on the coil wires, a little bit for it to go in there. So I'm gonna go ahead, trim out a little piece. I probably want more than that, so let's go give it a little bit extra. Boom. Boom. Now I'm going to take that end, put it in, let me show you. And now the tiniest little bit is poking through. So I'm going to go ahead. Now take the pointy end, push it in, and thread it tight, and now you have a spark plug end. I'm gonna poke it through my little holes I made. Now you connect it. So now all my spark plug bottoms are done. I realize it's probably hard to understand where these plugs are going, so I'm gonna show you. I don't know how good I can make it look, but I'm gonna try. So, let's top the motor down here. This will be your heater box. In the heater box, I'm gonna put flat, zoom in. There's your spark plug, right up there. And there's my connector on it. Let's see if that one's easier to see. There you go. That one's a lot easier to see. I have finished spark plug wires besides the labels. All the boots have been added. Man, oh man. This looks great. I ended up using the longer ones in the rear. It just makes grabbing them in the car so much easier. Hey, we're back. We're continuing on the engine build. We have the long block assembled with some extra bits done, oil lines at the motor done. I still have to connect them to the oil filter assembly. Distributor is lightly in just for temporary. Pulley's not actually in all the way yet. It's just kind of on there for now. I have to get the sheet metal behind it. Manifolds are on. Oil cooler's on, and all my sheet metal's back. So we're gonna go ahead and start installing all of the freshly powder coated sheet metal onto the motor. Today is currently Thursday. The idea is to work on it tonight, tomorrow night, and get it running Saturday morning for the first start. All right, went ahead and retapped all the holes out. Let's go ahead and put the first piece on. done as much as I am comfortable without putting the exhaust on. So now is the time. We get to see the exhaust on here. The heater boxes will all go on after the exhaust. But here she looks. I decided to do a black coil bracket, and I'll have the black fuel lines. It's an Outlaw. I'm able to do some things, just try to make it a little bit more hidden. So let's go ahead and unbox the exhaust and start getting that mocked up. We're about to start putting the heater manifolds on. They'll get new gaskets, new copper nuts. These have a locking mechanism to them, so always use new ones and new gaskets, of course. I'm gonna be using some muffler tailpipe sealer to help lock that in. On the muffler side of things, I'll be double stacking 2 gaskets per, along with the same combo. Helps get a really good seal so there's no leaks.
Silent echoes in the dark, shadows dancing in the park, whispers of a memory, lost in time and mystery. Light up the night, shine so bright. Through the haze to a place where lost sustain. Echoes of a distant past.
I had these ceramic coated, so normally if you just go for regular semi-gloss black like you would on everything else, this will be fine, but the J2 part of it right here will actually burn off and become like rusty over time. So I just spent the money, got them all ceramic coated. So hopefully I won't have that issue. Now let's flip it around and do the muffler. Okay. Muffler. This is something I haven't talked about yet at all. I'm going for something a little different than stock. 2 meaty tips. They're pretty big. They're not gonna be outside the car. They're gonna be in the middle together. Let's show you. Muffler. Here's there you go. So it's gonna be a little bit of a center exit style. An original one, let me show you. We actually have a car here. That is a 912. So my 2 will be coming out right there on each side of the plate basically. Original is right there on the 1. So I'll be getting rid of that. 2 right there instead, straight out. So the trick when you do the muffler, put it up against something that doesn't move. So, because you're gonna be trying to you're gonna be applying some force to get it in. So if you have something to push on, it does you a favor. So that's there, my muffler's right here. Pull the tips off. Okay, with this paste as well. So when it comes to the muffler, I will also put it in both of those holes The gaskets will seal these holes, so we're fine there. You have to remember to put the clamps on first, positioned how you want. Otherwise, once it all slips in, you will not be able to get these on, depending on the type. These ones, at least, I won't be able to without ruining them. So I gotta get them fitted. So here's this one. The idea is, when it's in the car like this, you can either have it positioned so the nuts sit down. I think for me, it would make the most sense to go like this. So I can slip it out of the way, but I have to have it in. So this one's gonna be nut down on the outside. This one is gonna be nut down on the outside. And I already test fit them, they do fit those ones. You have to make sure beforehand or you will screw yourself over.
Scattered pieces of my heart, torn apart, falling apart. I've been lost for so long, but you're my guiding soul, leading me to where I belong. Yeah. Love is true and strong. Light up tonight, shining so bright. Through the haze, to a place where love still stays. Lost for so long, but you're my guiding soul, leading me to where I belong. Yeah. Love is true and strong.
It's about time we go ahead and put the pulley on for final install. I went ahead and greased the backside and with the seal right on. The seal, the seal's in there, the oil slinger's in there, and the keyway's in there. I'm gonna go ahead and line it up. Put it in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take my nut, or my bolt if you would, put it in, and just by hand, I'm just gonna get it in, so I pull, with no glue, I'm basically just pulling the pulley into place. I have a flywheel lock on the back side so that the motor won't spin. And now it's getting tight. I'm gonna go ahead and back it off. I'm gonna glue. I'm gonna put some glue on this nut and washer. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put a little bead. You can see it's flanged. There's a concavity right there. I'm gonna put a little bit around there. Boom. Ready to go ahead. Set the washer on it. We're gonna put a little bit on the washer face. What this does is stops any oil from leaking out from the pulley. So I have a little bit on there. And yes, I'm not going to be the first to say I don't put enough put glue on things. I put plenty of glue on everything. I'm someone who says, yeah, I can wipe it back off, but I can't add more if it's already leaking. Don't know if it makes sense or not. It makes sense in my mind. So spin that on there. And you do not impact the pulleys. You will break a pulley. So I'm just gonna take good and tight. We're gonna be using some nut certs. Boom. Now we're good. So now we're in. I got this locked in. I think it's all the way up, so I think I'm good. Yes, I am. So cool when things work out. Boom. For me, I'm just happy I can take those boxes on and off without too much effort. Because if I need to change my bottom spark plugs for any reason, that's what I gotta do. I gotta drop those too. Oh wow, it's 4 little bolts, and you know what? It's not that bad, you guys, especially in a 912. 356 is one thing, but a 912, it's not that bad. So, progress, progress, progress. Really quick, I just pulled it back off. I forgot 912s have the motor mount right here, so I got one there and one there. I gotta put those on real quick. It's 417s, and then it'll go all back together. We are back in action with the 2 912 motor mounts in. All right, my apologies, we skipped a bit, but here we are. This is my oil canister that's all been powder coated. I had previously sandblasted and cleaned it out. I used some Vapor Rust for like a week or 2 and cleaned the inside of it out as well. So there's no rust inside this anymore. There's no sand inside of it. Clean, no dirt. There's nothing in this. I could leave it alone, but why? So I'm gonna use some Driptol, coat the inside so I have no issues. Most of the 356 912 motors that have issues is because this can gets moisture inside of it from not getting full heat cycles, or even getting heat cycles and this gets some moisture in it. And then that moisture goes into the oil, and now you have some wet oil. Or what I'll see happen is rust will start to accumulate, and then rust falls into the motor. So we're just gonna go ahead and coat it from now, just have no issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some gloves on and get to it. Just taking a little paintbrush, and let's start with the areas first. So in here, just go ahead. Put inside this tube. The reason I'm doing this tube first is because I'll start to see it drip in, and that's why I know I've got the whole thing coated. So I'm just literally taking lots of it like it's wax. I'm just kind of getting it on in there however I can, work it back and forth. Now when I feel like there's a comfortable amount in there, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is with my flashlight is look inside. Oh, right there, you can see it. Red in there, right there, you see it? So that's dripped on in through the thing. So now I can go ahead and rotate it, leave it rotated a few different ways for a few minutes, and just coat that whole tube. Now once that's all done, go ahead and do the next one. This one's even harder because it's tiny. Just kind of go like this. Same idea. Just want to fill it in. And now I see it coming in from the inside and through there, so I know that one's good. Now that both of those are done, I can go ahead and start getting some of these areas in here. So that is all of it coated inside all of the holes. So we'll go ahead and let this sit overnight for maybe a day or two, and there we go, we have it. So I'm gonna let it sit like this so it can drain out. I went ahead and removed the distributor to give myself more room to work on the oil temperature and oil pressure and idiot light senders. So the idea is this will go into the case, everything's gonna get crush washers and sealant where needed. This original part will go here, cap will go here. So yes, some people say not to do this because then it gets a little hotter because the oil can't escape. It will be good enough for my case. So I'm gonna go ahead, put some Teflon tape where needed, and get this all installed. Yes, it's tight, but it can be done, no problem. So, and yes, there's room for the fuel line, which actually goes like that. There. Now I can rotate this, get locked on in right there. Okay. So far, it's all finally coming. Together. That's for my wires. It doesn't really matter. So go ahead and run. I'm gonna go down through here. This one. that's gonna be it for the night. We will continue tomorrow. It's 9 o'clock tonight, so it's time to go home. Gotta get to work in the morning, and then after work, finish this. Hey, we're back. It's Friday now. We're gonna continue on the build. I went ahead and pulled the generator stand off. I'm gonna get the fan all mocked up. But before I do that, I think I'm gonna set the carburetors and get those put on. So let's go ahead and get the carburetors out of the boxes and start installing those. So this is the right-hand side. And this one is my left, but if you can see the linkage is on the back, so it has to be converted to go right here. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. We're gonna put this fan together. So come along. Here's most of the parts to do it. I had my generator rebuilt. Some people switch over to an alternator. I did not feel the need. I'm currently running a generator right now. Have no issues. So I'm gonna continue running a generator. If I have issues in the future, I will change over to an alternator. All right, here's my fan. There's some interesting things about the fan. They are balanced. So originally, they have some weights on some of the fins to balance the fan. So if you were to powder coat this, the material would be so uneven, it would cause the fan to be out of balance. Another thing is, you could do it in gold or silver, cad or zinc, but we just sandblasted them, spray painted it, does the same job. In hindsight, I probably would have just sent it out to be done in gold, would have probably stood up better. But the rest of the stuff was sent out and got coated. That was probably a foresight on my end. And gently clamp on the two flat surfaces. Nothing too crazy, but if you are too loose, you'll ruin it, so just be fairly tight on it. Now, gonna take your plate. You have to position this beforehand. I already pre-marked it up here. Otherwise, you're gonna screw yourself over on the placement of this of the terminals. It can either be clocked one way or the. So if you're looking at the motor, if it's to the right, that's for an early motor. To the left is for later. It depends on the breather style, the oil can style. This would be a later motor, and the circle with the tube would be an early. So the later, you have the terminals go to the opposite of this, so facing this way. If it's an early, it has the circle, and the terminals would go towards it. I just realized I'm missing a very important part of this project. On the 912s, there is a fiber gasket that goes here along this edge. I don't have one, so hopefully it doesn't ruin it for me to run this. So I'm gonna keep going and see what I can do. Another thing to look for, these fans right here, it's oval by nature. That's how it's supposed to be. If the middles right there, if it looks like an hourglass where it starts opening up from rocking back and forth, the fan is worn. Same thing with your pulleys. If your pulleys are starting to hourglass, they're no longer good. Replace them. time has come to finish up the oil lines. So let me at least show you how to do it. The first time I was rushed, so I didn't get a chance. So these are quick release ends. I have them on the side of the motor. I will also be putting them on this side, which will be my spin-on external oil filter mount. That's a lot of words. Here it is. Boom. You put filter on here. New age, good filter. So let's get that figured out. This can go in there. And this can go in here. And I can just go and spin it on in. This is where this is gonna get interesting. Right here in my hand is a 911 CDI box that has been transformed internally to work this motor. Your normal 911 CDI box, that the internals have been changed. So the reason we have to do that, and not only that, is I'm running CDI coils. So 2 CDI coils, a CDI box, just for this bad boy, the twin plug. There's a few different ways of doing twin plug. John Benton has his version. It uses a regular coil, to my knowledge, and no CDI box. I believe Will Hoyt has his own version. This is a version we use, and there's another version by a company called Ellen Engineering. They're using a 123 ignition distributor, and they modify it for twin plug for the 4 cylinders. Alright, I have all the wiring done to run it. This is for test purposes only. This will not be how this is staying at all. However, it's a waste of time and materials for me to make it all nice now, because it's gonna get changed. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that for the night. It is, what time is it? 9:30. And I'll be in first thing in the morning to put the oil in it and fire it up with Todd. That's the goal. So I'm gonna call it a night for now. See you tomorrow morning. Good morning. It's Saturday morning, just shy of 7 o'clock. We're here. We're gonna go ahead and transfer it from the boring old stand to the run stand. Todd should be here any minute. We're gonna fire it up once again. This is all temporary. This will get fitted into a nice heat shrink when it goes into the car, probably right here. But for now, it's all just temporary. It's time to put oil in. I'm gonna be using VR1 for first startup, just straight 30 weight. This stuff is high zinc. That's what matters for these motors. So go ahead and start off with 3.5 quarts and go from there.
Have an oil pressure light?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now disconnect your box. Do you want me to just
Box
pull
is
these off?
disconnected.
Box is disconnected.
So this is the power box.
Okay, so we're gonna check the light and it shouldn't start, right?
It should not start.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure it's open.